Hi everybody, I'm Susan, and in this video we'll look at problem 59 from test 4 in your red book. So go ahead and pause the video and check out that problem now. So what we've got in this problem is a graph that looks loosely like this. Mine is not very pretty, and they want us to figure out which equation matches that graph. So the first thing I'd say is this is a good one to skip your first time around. Even in the best of times, it's going to take you a minute to work through this, so I would skip it the first time around and come back for it in your second sweep. Now, the way to do this one is through process of elimination. There's some things you might remember from math class about what you can tell about an equation just from looking at a graph. So what I'm going to do is point out some things about this graph that we can use to eliminate options here. So the first thing I notice is that on both ends of this graph, it's pointing up. And that tells me it's basically a parabola, which means it's going to have an even number of exponents. So the total number of x to the whatever is going to be even. So A has 3 x's, so we can go ahead and eliminate it because that is not an even number of x's. Whereas all the other options, you can check them out. This has 4, and the rest of these have 6. It turns out to be an x to the 6th function. So that's what's going on here, and we can eliminate option A for that reason. The second thing we can do is look at the points where things are happening on the graph to tell us what the equation is going to look like. So I think the easiest one to start with is x equals 0. Since it's turning around sort of like an upside down parabola here, that tells me it's going to be another even exponent. So when something turns around and goes negative again, that means it's an even exponent, whereas something like this, where it gets closer and then keeps going the same direction, is going to be an odd exponent. So at 0, this is probably going to be an even exponent, and we have 3 options that look like that. This is x equals 0. So since this has a 3 and we are looking for an even exponent there, you can eliminate option E. Next, I want to look at this spot, x equals 6. So this is what you would plug in. If you plugged in x equals 6, it would equal 0. So we know there's something going on, an odd exponent at x equals 6. And you can see both option B and option C do have something at x equals 6, but it's the wrong sign. So it's plus 6. And x plus 6 means you would need to plug in negative 6 to get 0. So for those reasons, there's nothing going on at x equals negative 6 over here. We can eliminate B and C, whereas D does have, as expected, an odd exponent at x equals 6. So D is going to be the correct answer here. If you're not totally confident in how to do these, the very last resort would be to plug in all 5 in your calculator and see which one looks like this, and it's going to be D. The other thing you can do is sort of hack your way to this point like I did, and then just plug in D and confirm that you're right on. And you will be. So that's how you do problem number 59.